want to play fast. That early game coming in from Dao will be something to see whether or not can Twisted Minds actually put in towards their control.
Sight to be seen here from OG Esports. Dao onto the Ogrins, one of his biggest picks within the KMW as well, both fall and spring, and now he's bringing it to KIC to try and further him and his team's efforts into the knockout stage, which is where they'll get drawn into, obviously, later on to see where their groupings will fall, but game number 2 on the way.
Yeah, I like the Twisted Minds lineup in terms of that speed. It's a tempo thing, but it looks like it's going to be starting now. This is the 4th and final match of the day, but it's game number 2. How does Twisted Minds come back? They have an early game lineup. Is this going to be quick enough to kind of damper the moods of OG and take the fight to them?
Yes, I mean, you can only hope that that's something they'll be able to achieve on the side of Twisted Minds, but very aggressive in the early games, obviously throwing out the Kachusans here onto Wan, just putting that pressure on. But we know for a fact that Dao is going to make sure he's making full use of these minion waves in the mid lane just to further his farm.
Yeah, and it's Twisted Minds again. This is that rotation, right? They're going to do a little bit of a lane swap here. An is in the bottom lane. Shanks is going to be there as well, but with Wen looking for a potential gank, needs to be careful here. Cannot get the Firehawk. Yeah,
did not get the Firehawk there, and making sure that they don't get ganked onto is probably something that Twisted Minds does not want to allow happen, because if that does happen, it could spell already a hard game number 2 for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But at the same point, like, Twisted Minds are like, okay, if we can't get the bottom Firehawk, Twisted Minds are going to take the Space Sprite in the top lane, so you're getting some sort of value. But Clean, this is the guy who has to take the fight to them. He has to be very quick in ensuring he gets all that farm and outpace Dao potentially.
Oh, yes. And I mean, the thing about Nakaruru as well, right? That second skill is always going to do damage to health percentage as well. So Dao and Muchin, if Clean gets going on this Nakaruru, has to watch out.
Yeah. I mean, he has to respect it, right? And so Clean, if he's able to make that impact, then you have Hylon going in as well. You have that potential, just like that burst, right?
Yeah.
You need to put Dao in a state where he's kind of uncomfortable and not able to just freely farm wherever.
Ooh, nice access into the backline there, the Ru engine, but it's going to be not a pickup here, but a force of flash onto both of the mid lanes. So overall, decent trade for both teams as they're trying to set up, obviously, next few team fights.
Yeah, they're trying to bait out Dao. Nighty just now showing up, but he's been spotted out. Dao had sensed that out. I mean, this is one where, again, OG, like, it's the game awareness. You see that Nighty was not there on the top lane. Yeah. He's got to be coming towards you, so Dao playing very smart.
It has to, right? I mean, you don't get that, like you said earlier, you don't want Dao to get caught out pretty early on, or it's going to be pretty much a sayonara for that pick, because that raid bus is not going to get online exactly when you need it to, and then if your only teammate scowls you, it's kind of a tricky situation to be in.
Yeah, definitely a tricky situation, and now Dao, he's being, he's farming efficiently. He's been largely uncontested, right? Clean is in his own side of the jungle. They haven't really made any sort of attempt to invade the enemy jungle or make some sort of gank attempt at this early stage of the game.
Yeah, none of that so far, but it's still plenty early within this game number 2 between Twisted Minds and OG Esports. Twisted Minds, however, actually do have the gold advantage here.
Yeah, they definitely do, and this is the thing. I mean, look, going into this one, it's where the 4-minute mark, that's going to be the key factor, right? OG, from that moment, it kind of turned it up a little bit, and they kind of got some sort of, initiative. They went with some gank attempts. That's when the first movements are probably going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Around about that neutral objective time, right? Obviously, around about that 30-second mark, but now it's going to be a bit of a dive here onto HIGHLIGTS, but Clean just driving them away.
Look at Nighty. He's like this guy that's just eyeing in the party, and he's going to get gone on here.
Oh, Nighty, you got to be careful there. You don't say bye-bye Night just yet. But Muchin coming in with the rotation here, just trying to cut up any access onto Dao because they know how vital Dao is in about this next 15 seconds.
Yeah, Nighty there was like waiting in the wings, just patiently. Is somebody going to get out of position? Nobody
there it is, City Boy with the help of HIGHLIGTS, using that Tremor Smash just to bait them away. Using the Liampo defensively rather than aggressively, I think was a good call here from the side of Twisted Mind, OG Esports.
Yeah, I think they can be okay with that, right? I think that just keep everybody alive. It's about just ensuring that Dao doesn't get gone on, but now the Tyrant here looks like there's going to be a little bit of action.
Yeah, HIGHLIGTS taking liberties to the face, and now we see 90 just trying to get check onto KIC, but it's going to be OG Wen with the takedown onto the Tyrant.
Yeah, taking down the Tyrants and OG flexing and turning this into a bottom lane push. So it looks like it's been OG, like it's like that one tyrant, things start to kind of open up the game a bit, and now Twisted Minds, understanding that they're behind, are trying to force the issue.
Yeah, I mean, they are ever so slightly behind. Obviously, not too far behind in terms of the gold lead, but I would say in terms of pressure here, they're putting it on pretty thick into the enemy jungle, right? Like taking off Dowdow's Crimson Golem, and Keke was not thinking like, wait, they were going to be there?
Yeah, and Clean and HIGHLIGTS, this is the dynamic duo. These two, the potential burst, you see exactly what happens. Kuka giving up first blood.
Exactly, you blink and your life flashes before your eyes, and the same thing may be going on here for Shanks, but they don't want to commit too much time in this T1 territory right now. As you can see there, Muchin has to burst ramp out with the Magma Slam, but he's going to be able to get that HP regen once he's out of combat.
Yeah, On right there gets on his dragon to safety, and he's just like, hey, Muchin, why don't you have a ride? You just got to walk your way out? What kind of old school, like, method is that?
Yeah, well, peasant, bro. You can't turn into a dragon? What's that about? Like, you can burst ram, you can smash people up, but you can't become a dragon. Hey, go figure. But now, Twisted Minds actually opening up the side of the Corch for OG Esports.
And now Twisted Minds here. Again, it's about that space. Now they're putting the pressure on the bottom T2. This is looking very good for Twisted Minds. OG now in unfamiliar territory. They're actually playing from behind now.
They are playing from behind, but I mean, at the same time, when it comes to these team fights later on between Twisted Minds and OG Esports, as long as Twisted Minds don't get too far ahead of the gold, I feel like it could definitely turn in the favor of OG just because of the amount of tank and health and damage that they can do here.
Yeah, and I mean, you still have Dao on the Ogryn, right? So that mid to late game is going to be the big turning point here. But at the same time, Clean has done a great job of farming efficiently, getting some ganks as well. So Twisted Minds, it's still right now.
Oh, nice play there by 90, set up by Shanks as well. Takedown onto Dao means there's going to be another one onto Kuka. That's not a good spell if you are OG Esports.
Yeah, not good at all. I mean, 2 members down. Twisted Minds are looking to do it here, and they're continuing on, putting the pressure on even beyond the mid T1.
For me here, I feel like OG Esports has to get to the late game for order of the damage to come online from when and on. So I feel like maybe that's what they need to do. Even if they get to the T3s here, if they just hold them off here from the side of OG Esports, they can get back online.
Yeah, and in this game, you can see Twisted Minds, they're very capable of taking the fight to OG. This is, again, they're doing a great job. They're up about 3.7K at this point. And now OG, how do they respond? What do they need to do to get back into this?
Like I said, I think it's just a waiting game. It is literally just a moment's notice for OG Esports to get itemization, to get On online. You can see the Axel Torment come through here as well. Probably building into the Eternity Blade next, and just wait for the damage to get online.
Yeah, as long as OG have their T3s, they're still in an okay spot. Obviously, the 1450 mark is probably where they want to go before Dao is really online. So it's just a matter of time of just slowing the pace of this game, right?
Yeah.
Wave clearing, taking things out, making sure that Twisted Minds doesn't get a pick off, which again turns into some sort of tower.
Yeah, because I mean, OG right now definitely don't have a tower, and it's definitely looking like a different kind of game for them in this game number 2 between themselves and Twisted Minds, but another steal goes over to the side of Twisted Minds Clean. This is looking like a Dao special from game number 1.
Yeah, doing a great job. I mean, Nakaru, just like the eagle, everything smite, everything was thrown to ensure that they secure that buff, taking it away. Again, it's a huge one because it slows down Dao as well.
It slows him right down, and I mean, especially if you're using and spamming all those skills on the Ogryn, right? Like, that's gonna really, really be taxing onto a pick like the Ogryn, but now the passing does get put through here. Maybe just to potentially zone away City Boy, but trying to stop that takedown of the T3 top side, bottom side of the map is gonna be the call here for OG.
Yeah, and I love the fact that HIGHLIGTS has been on this Mai. Like, the impact that you see is just so much more different than, game 1, where he wasn't really able to play his game because he was on the passive Princess Frost. This is one where he can be aggressive. Look at how he's up in front, always providing vision as well as has the ability to get away if he...
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, HIGHLIGTS was one of those players back in 2024 of KC. He was like, always saying to his coach, let me carry, but it'd always have to go onto these utility mages. But as soon as he got his hands on Mai Shirunui and Shangguan, That's when we started to see the big boy start to carry the team of Twisted Minds. Back then, obviously, with Team Vitality, but now, bit of a flash, dash, combo here, going in with a Tremor Smash, but it's going to be KIC going to take it down already. That's not a good sign for the side of OG Esports, but Shanks goes down as well. So trading Clash lane, but jungle and Clash is probably not a good point here for the side of OG Esports.
Yeah, Clean right now has some serious damage. The burst is real, and Dao is just not tanky enough to really sustain any of that. Once KK went in, got the pick up on a Shanks, great, he looked to trade, but then Dao was stuck around, like, and basically Clean had that burst and just made him pedestrian, took him out.
The takedown onto Dao and KK was not what I was actually expecting here, right? Like, obviously, normally we see a much more dominant performance here from Kuka on the Mayim, but maybe it's just not what his flavor of the day is.
Yeah, definitely not one of his flavors. I mean, Twisted Minds doing a great job of taking this Shadow Tyrant now. And again, they've just died a single time, and this is looking very good for Twisted Minds. But it's, like, again, can you eventually close this game out and, you know, make sure that Dao doesn't get his farm?
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Like, that's the whole MO of Twisted Minds, is to make sure that, just like last game, Dao was completely unchecked to the point where he was in your jungle, and now he's kind of getting forced, scared into that T3 territory, maybe not even potentially trying to get the steal here onto that Shadow Overlord. He's kind of feeling that timid when you see these XP leads onto the side of Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I think Twisted Minds, it took them 10 games to you know, loss streak against OG for them to be like, okay, now let's play. Let's go. We've got this Nakaru. We're going to be able to make our play and just really penalize and punish this Ogryn of Dao.
Yeah, maybe that's the case here, but at the same time, they do have the Overlord now putting pop down into one of these lanes. I can imagine it's either going to be one of the side lanes as well. Potentially top side here. Yes, it looks like it is going to be a mitigated top side, so potential push and pressure being placed here.
So the biggest thing about Twisted Minds lineup now is that now they have to figure out a way to get to the high ground. They have to be able to take down those T3s. Putting pressure on the Shadow Vanguard in the top lane will help.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
They need to figure out again, because the wave clear from OG is also real.
Maybe use Highlang as a bit of a scapegoat, maybe, as we've seen from Senko previously on the side of Gendra, but now just maybe fishing out some CC onto the side of City Boy, but it's going to be the backline takedown of KIC. He's not having the greatest game this time around. Every time he tries to get the touchdown, he's got to be careful, but at the same time, 90 going for the Danny push into the bot side of the map, going for a backdoor access. It's going to be Twisted Minds looking to take Crystal of game number 2. The Crystal falling short goes down.
Eventually, finally got it. Nighty with the play. I mean, he was going for the Crystal, and you're thinking, he's going to solo it. But when they tried to stop him, he turned around, Formless is truth, and he set it up. And again, this is a great game by Twisted Minds.